Christmas speeches. So those magari thank you for that. Thank you for that. We go on to sister.
and sharing the life of everyone around you. As we say farewell, let's honor his legacy by finding joy in our everyday lives, spreading love as she did. I loved it like no other. And she was the best sister everyone wanted. My daughter sent me something for unfair. I'm going to read what she sent to me. And it's unfiltered. It reads, Dear Grandpa, aunts, uncles, and relatives. Faye was one of the most special people I ever met. She made me feel if I went out anywhere I would want to go. She was the type of person to work for what she wanted. And she did. Her smile always brightened up the road of my thought life. Every time I think of unfaith, a Bible verse pops in my head. Psalms 34 verse 8 says, The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And John 14 verse 1 says, Do not let your heart be troubled. Anfaye was a very nice, kind person. I'll never hear anyone complain about it. As a niece, I'll keep her in a very special place in my heart. That can never be opened by anyone else. We will miss you, Anfaye. And may the Spirit of the Lord keep you safe. Is your death is not the end, but is the beginning of eternal love. Love, Tawana.
Excuse me, technology. Okay. The parents would send her to Bulawayo for holidays, and she would choose to bring friends. And believe me, right up to the time of her death, those people she brought to Bulawayo when she was in primary school are still her friends. So she valued people, for who they are and not for what they have. And then when we talk about her creativity, she was a fashion specialist. At times she would make something out of nothing. A piece of cloth which you would otherwise think is useless. She would bring life to it and make all those fancy dookies that you could see. So she was very, very creative. She was very generous. My sister spoke about her generosity, and that same request to Alfred and to me still stands up to now from the other Bob, because every time, whether she was in Australia or anywhere, whenever she comes to pay a visit, we would definitely receive something. And she knew she would bring something for Koko Ellen and Koko Nje. And then about Kumakisa, one day she came very, very kind of worried, I could say. She had requested for permission to go for a girls' outing somewhere. And I believe the bargain was, come back at this particular time. And at that particular time that she was supposed to have come home, she went, she had someone calling, Faith, someone wants to see you. And guess what? She came to say, Koko, and Mr. Ruwanda vamakisi. Ndiri kubuda ipapo. Ndiranzwa kuti ndiri kudedzwa. Ndikuona ndiani iPrado na Mr. Ruwanda. Ende vakandimakisa. So I mean, she was somebody with principles, very honest. I mean, she stood by her word. Whenever she said I would be coming at this time, there was no need absolutely for Mr. Ruwanda to come checking for her, because she knew she was definitely coming back home at the particular time. And then talking about us, you know, the Gogo, Mzukuru issues. Each time I would write to her, then ask, how are you? She says, I'm fine. Then I would go on to say, socially. Then she will start, you know, she will click those kiki laughs of WhatsApp. I know what you're talking about, Kokonje. Let's leave that for another day or something. Then we are very devastated as a family to have lost such a wonderful soul, which no one can feel. She has just left a gap, which no one will feel. Yes, we may try to patch up here and there, but she has really left a blow. The last, we, in our everyday language, we may call it irony, but it is God's plan. When we last saw her, that was in January, when we went for a holiday with Mom and several other friends around here. She had literally run around to organize that trip. She spent sleepless nights trying to fix everything. And I'm made to understand she was telling the planner to say, please be patient with those people. They are old women. Just be patient with them. They are very old. So when the guy who was sent to come and pick us up from the airport to the cruise port looked at us and said, I thought I was going to see people who are very, very old, you know, moving in walking sticks. Did she mean you? She really emphasized that I have to be patient with you. And the last irony that I would like to talk about was when we parted ways. She says, I didn't come in December. I am going to come definitely in March. And this is March. Thank you.
Sabong Gogo, you know, you've given us a vivid picture of faith. Thank you very much. So, can I ask Sister-in-law Udonunga?
On Monday, the 17th of Feb, at 8 p.m., Faith called Alfie to ask him if she could come over because she wasn't feeling well. Without hesitation, we got into the car and we drove to her place to pick her up. I walked into her apartment building and I found her sitting at the reception waiting for us. She didn't look too well, not as jovial as I know her to be. We drove around looking for a pharmacy, but all were closed due to the time in which we were on the road. We went back home, prepared her room for her, and it's her room because she was the one that always was in that room in our house, and we monitored her overnight. On that Monday, I was working from home because I wanted to monitor her as Alfie went into the office. She had then gone to the dentist, as her pain at the time was just orally based. The doctor prescribed her with antibiotics amongst other things and had told her to come back on the Friday for an extraction or a better review of the pain that she had. Fast forward to Friday the 21st. Her pain had persisted, but she seemed to be slightly better. On Sunday 23rd, after church, Alfie had noticed that her pale skin was getting paler and she was somewhat becoming a little yellow around her ears. We then rushed her to an emergency care unit in our area where she received a drip and had undergone further testing to assist us in determining what the problem was. The results of these tests is what prompted us to rush her to the hospital on Monday 24th, as we had found that she was extremely anemic and was experiencing kidney failure. This kidney failure led to multiple organ dysfunction and a blood disorder that required a blood transfusion on that Monday. We were confident that the blood transfusion worked as it was done in the evening and that we'd find her in a better state on the following day. Tuesday, 25th of Feb arrived with the intention to take her from us. We rushed back to the hospital with great confusion and desperation. Alfie rushed ahead of me as I was locking up the car. Whilst making my way to the ward, he called me in panic, and for some reason the elevators were not working at the time. So I ran up to the 4th floor of the hospital. At 16:18, her heart was giving in, and they tried to resuscitate her. But at 16:48, she had passed. Faith, my beloved sister, ever since I met Faye, I knew that I never wanted to refer to her as my sister-in-law. She was simply my sister, and my sister in love. Sister in love, because love is the foundation of the Ruwanda family and its surrounding community. And it's through love that I'm a part of this family. Faye, you loved me from the day that we met, and I loved you right back. I fondly remember how you used to pleasantly fuss over me and treat me like a princess whenever we were together. There were Fridays that I used to go to their office, and she would tell everybody, "This is my makoti, this is my sister, and if anybody bothers her, you'll have to deal with me." And she would insist and ensure that she would repeat constantly that this is my girl, this is my makoti. You opened up to me, she trusted me, and she confided in me from day one. And through those moments that we'd have our catch-ups, I grew protective over her. I learned her sensitivities, how precious and loyal and gentle she was. She once told me about someone who she had minor conflict with and expressed how she wasn't the one to be confrontational, And I remember telling her that you don't have to be confrontational about anything to anybody. I'll gladly do that on your behalf. And that no one on this green earth would hurt you whilst I'm still around. With Mum and Dad being in Zim and the three of us being in South Africa, Alfie and I always told you that we'd protect you no matter what and against anything, and that would always show up. There was never any hesitation when it came to you. And I suppose that's why it was God's intention for Alfie and I to be there by your side before and when you took your last breath. It had to be us that stood up for you and demanded that you were attended to with unreserved and unconditional respect and attention. It had to be us that challenged the doctors, further demanding that they ensure that you had more than one doctor by your side. We fought for you and prayed for you until the very end because we simply loved you. We prayed so hard that our prayers were carried by our tears. We lost that battle, but God has ultimately won by having you in heaven right next to him and by granting you his peace through his will. To Mum and Dad, the hole that Faith's passing has left can never be filled. But I want you to know that I will always be by your side, taking care of you unconditionally, with patience and with love. You called me your daughter from the very beginning, and that I will always be. And to my husband, Alfie, there will be days when the silence is too loud and the world has no color, like any other day, but more so on those days where grief strikes and holds you hostage. You should remember that I will be on your side, at either side of you, but exactly right beside you, to catch you and to hold you, to comfort you and to cry with you. Yes, you've lost faith, a piece of your heart, but you've gained an angel. And when I pray to God and ask him to send you his finest angels to watch over you and protect you, she'll be strutting down and leading the pack, because the type of angel that Faith has become is the type that heaven has never seen before, the type that needs no training. Heaven rejoiced upon your arrival, Faith. It was an honor to know you and to love you. It was an honor to take care of you even in your final hour. I would fight that fight for you again and again without hesitation. I love you.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, David.
Family and friends, we gather here today to honor and celebrate the life of my dear sister Faith. As my wife would have mentioned, we were fortunate to spend the last couple of days with her, nursing her, feeding her, doing everything that we could to ensure she'll get better. But ultimately, God had other plans for her. I've always thought that Faith was too good for us here on earth. Faith touched the lives of so many people that she didn't even know. Faith interacted with a lot of humans through her social media pages that still until today are grieving her as if it's their own sister or their own mother. Faith was very impactful in the way she lived her life. Faith was unconditionally a loving human being. She put everyone first. Alfie, I'm fine. Tell Mom and Dad I'm fine, were the words she echoed daily, and the last words that she mentioned to my parents, and the last words she also mentioned to me. Despite that pain she was going through, despite her not being well, she was still thinking of us and how we should not worry about her. That's who she was. There aren't enough words to capture who she was, but if you knew her, you knew that a radiant smile could light up the room. Faith had a quiet strength about her, sometimes reserved, but once she was comfortable with you, her personality would shine in the most beautiful way. She had a heart full of warmth, kindness, and a sense of humor that only a few would actually understand. She was a true creative soul with an eye for fashion, style, and everything beauty. Whether she was putting together the perfect outfit, experimenting with new designs, or simply just adding her own unique touch, it was always a reflection of the beauty she had within. Our hearts are heavy at the moment, but we take comfort in knowing that her love, her laughter, and a unique spirit will always be with us. Faith, you are deeply loved, and you'll be dearly missed. I think on the note, Yana Mama, Nana Dedi, Nana Gogo, Pakumakisa, I must admit, I was very responsible for the one time when we followed to where she was at night. Angathi no okay, did wakati Alfred pinda moto, tukuno traffic. De papi gara pavenda, gandokuziva. We went, I normally sit at the back and achi driver nina did. We were going in the front, taswika kunzimbo. I walked in, they got Faith, come, Dad is outside. Outfit and ginger. But either way, she came back, ndika garok mashure, or rather I tried to cover, ndika garok mberi. Did vakati endong mashure is normal. Fiyaka pinda pamberi. Gogo, I'm sure that's been because of Funierwa. I'm very responsible for that. And I didn't apologize to her. I thank you guys. May my sister soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Now, can I call upon the four friends to come to the front here? There is Tatenda. Can she come up here? Rhoda, Joy, and Folake. Can you all come to the front?
I'm sorry, Baba. I'm sorry, Sangano General Mwari. Again, go vatango pet sangi kumaki say. I may not understand did say makeup. Charamba nji try fe. She makeup is. I'll try. I'm just going to read something because Nizrunda Katawara Rime, but it's just a small speech. Moyo wangu warwadziswa zvakanyanya. Established 2007, this friendship is 18 years old, and you lived for 36. And I'm happy to have been in your life for half of that 36. 36 years of love, laughter, and an exceptional human being you were, my friend. As we gather here today to celebrate the life of Faye, let us remember the laughter, the love, the joy that she brought into our lives. Faye, may your memory continue to inspire and uplift us as we navigate this world without you. As I stand here, I'm proud and honored to call you my friend and sister. Zorora mugare shamwari yangu, ufambe zvakanaka. P.S. Your makeup is on point.
Mangwanani Church. Ndichaverenga tsamba yandanyorera Faye. Dear Faith, I can't believe we've reached the point of adulting where I find myself here saying goodbye to you. Though the questions I have will continue to weigh on me, I know exactly what to say to you. Thank you, Faye, for shining your light so bright. Thank you for loving yourself so much that you schooled us on what it meant to be beautiful. Bold, black, beautiful. You defied so many odds and shattered so many glass ceilings simply by being yourself. Not to say it was easy, girl, but if flawless was a person, it would be you. Always doing better than before and constantly evolving. Thank you for seeing me, and thank you for being a safe space I needed growing up. Thank you for always being there for me, no matter the time, distance, or life reality between us. I'll miss you, Wangu. I'll miss seeing you sucking on your pinky finger when your guard was off. I miss that laugh and the way you made us feel. Comfortable in your own skin, and yet at our big age, many of us still struggle. To Mom and Dad, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving Faye the wings to fly and soar as high as she did. Her courage, drive, and are a product of the amazing job that you did. To Alfred, thank you for being an amazing, big little brother. You were always there for her. We are grateful she had you and your wife to call on. Please stay strong. To Faye, here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. Thank you.
This one? Yeah, sure. Not in a million years did I ever imagine doing this for Faye today. She's 7 years younger than me. Today I stand here as Faye's, someone who worked with her in the fashion world. But today I'm standing here as Faye's sister because that's what she became, and also as a friend. I met Faye in 2012-13, about 13 years ago. I used to own a women's clothing shop, and she was my very first model, the very first influencer that I used because I liked how she carried herself. She was class, she had so much grace. And she was the face of my brand, Mama. I approached Faye on social media. At first I thought she wouldn't respond because she had a huge following then, and I was just starting. To my surprise, she did respond, and I thought, oh, she's gonna be a diva. She probably would be like, nah, I can't work with you, you're still new in the business. But no, we hit it off from the word go. I was out of the country at that time, so I said to her, I'll give you things I want you to wear when I come, and then I'll see how you style it, and then we can take it from there. Faye was like, no, sis, it's okay. Let me go to the shop, you don't have to be there. See what I can do with it, and then we take it from there. So we came into partnership before we even met each other in person. She went to my shop, got what she wanted. She styled it herself, did her makeup, did a photo shoot, sent me the pics, and I was blown away. That was the very first time that I worked with her. I later came back to Zim, and then we met, and when we met, it wasn't a working partnership. She had become my sister. One thing that some people might not know, Faye was very shy in front of the camera. You'd assume that as a social media personality, that she would probably be out there. Faye was very shy, and that's why she liked to be her own makeup artist, her own creative guru. She did her own photo shoots and everything, so I would let her run with it. I didn't want to get in the way of her creativity, and she did. This one time, I had a photo shoot with Premier Auto, and she was in South Africa. So I said, Faye, I need you here. And she's like, what are we doing? I said, we've got a photo shoot. I didn't want to tell her that it's with Premier Auto because she didn't want to be in front of other people's cameras. She liked to do her own photo shoots. So I didn't tell her. So she flew here. When she came to see me, I was like, oh yeah, it's with Premier Auto. We are going to be doing it in town in front of everyone in the streets. If you know where Premier Auto is in town, it's busy around there. Mama, I think you remember the photo shoot, your motor, yes. So when I told her that, she's like, oh, I think 2 days before, she's like, I've got a cold coming, sis, I can't do this. I feel sick. I don't want to spoil the whole mood. I said, I'm a nurse, don't worry. I'll give you all the antibiotics you need. We are doing it. A day before, she calls me, I think I'm too short for it. I said, no. You'll be wearing the same clothes we've been wearing all along, so you're not too short, you're very tall. We are doing it. Come the day, I said, what time are you coming for your makeup? She's like, oh, I will see. I was like, Faye, if I have to come home and drag you kicking and screaming, I'm doing it. Either we do that or you come by yourself. You choose. So she came, had her makeup, and she showed up. She did the photo shoot. It was a wow, and she put my brand to another level. And I'll forever appreciate her because she's the very first person who believed in what I was doing. She was already somewhere when I met her, and I was just starting. And for her to believe that what I was doing was something, Faye was one of the first fashion gurus in Zimbabwe. She was one of the first influencers back then, 12, 13 years ago. And she maintained who she was. With social media, it's not always positive. She had the negatives. People want to comment for the sake of commenting. There are going to be some negative naysayers who say stuff, and sometimes she was human. She to get to her. And I always say, shall we have a glass of wine? She's like, no, I need a bottle of wine. A glass is not going to solve this. You know, so we'll go above Pick and Pay. Pane, can't remember now the name of the bar. We have a bottle of wine, because she wanted a bottle, not a glass, and we'll talk it out. She always delivered, and all the time that if she was running late, Mom, you were blamed. It's because Mom is not cooperating at home. She's busy baking at the moment. She's not there to help me set up my things. You know, so we blame you for anything that didn't go right. Yeah, but while we mourn Faye today and while we bid farewell to her, let us also celebrate the impact she had on many women she inspired with her effortless fashion sense and style. Let's celebrate the young girls she inspired and instilled confidence that it's okay to be yourself, that there's so much beauty in being a black, beautiful African queen, that you don't have to change who you are for anyone or to fall to society's pressure. I'm grateful for the time that I spent with Faye and that I worked with Faye. Rest in peace, girl. Rest in pieces. I love you. Your style, your spirit, and love will always live within us. Thank you.
Mangwanani, mangwanani. Zvinoto kisa kuti susu vechiduku takamira pano tichitaura pamusaka peumwe wedu. Isusu tichikura taingoziva kuti vanhu vakuru vana mbuya nana sekuru. Sekuru ari kumusha vatisingazivi ndo vanenge vachiindwa namama nadhedhe kunhamo. Isi singaendi tichisara. Asi nhasi taungamira mumwe wedu. Mwoyo uri kugwadza asi tiri kufara. Nekuti Faye, it's almost as if Joy and I sat together and we were deciding on what to say about Faith, because I had similar thoughts about Faith. In Faye ndakamuziya ku high school. Faith was a very quiet person. She had a quiet confidence about her. She was very polite, very friendly. And ndichimuona isusu we were at an all-girls school at that time. There were hints that this girl loved fashion. But there were subtle hints that this girl was going to be something phenomenal. And this is kuchikoro chevasikana tatine pressure of beauty standards. There was a definition of what beauty looked like, the right hairstyle, the right hair, but not Faye. Faye was not subjected to that pressure. Fast forward, we incidentally both ended up in Australia. She was a little bit further from me. And that is when, for me, the true sense of faith started popping up. Somehow she found her confidence, her inner beauty. And like Joy said, Mazuvawa, your social media for us, the role models we saw were girls and women from overseas, Anna Beyonce, Anna Jennifer Lopez. And then there was Faith. Faith became the face of what a role model looks like in beauty. Tichikura taingoona kuti munhu ane lipstick yered yepink munongomaziva ma-stereotypes iwayo. But Faith defied those stereotypes. She showed us that a woman, a young woman, can be beautiful, embrace that beauty, still be dignified, and be professional. Tunaona vakawanda fange pa social media. Vanawo mapicture nama-likes nei. Some have faded, some are still there. Asi mukazozvitarisisa kuti munhu uyu unoitei, hatina answer. asi unenge wakachena tose toda kukwirawo ndege dzavanokwira idzodzo asina zvaanotitira. But Faith became our role model. She showed us that there is nothing wrong with loving your fashion, embracing your skin, embracing who you are with your imperfections. The standard of beauty atakakura tichiona isu was of a woman who's usually tall, she's yellow-boned, sometimes petite, everything Faith wasn't. And yet, she embraced her dark skin and everything that she was. And she paved way for the rest of us, that when we were looking for the ultimate style, the picture of a beautiful Zimbabwean girl, Faith was that beacon. Vakawanda vavakeke zvino vakagadzirirwa shira naFaith. To Mom and Dad, thank you for raising a woman like Faith, who showed us what beautiful can look like. Vakawanda ivavo vatinoona pasocial media zvakataurwa nezuro vapera kudyiwa namakarwi ende inozviita social media, inozviita pressure yekuti vanhu vese uchifamba mugwagwa moti ndiwe Faith, but not Faith. Faith was still a dignified human being, and she never made us feel as if what she put out on social media was also for the attention of men. She showed us that we as women can love ourselves and not make ourselves object of men's attention. That was Faith. Takadzidza zvakawanda from Faith. Chimwe chandadzidza about Faith even in death. Faith afa kubasa kwavo. Navarungu vakashamisika kuti Faith wafa. Ndokuvhara kambani kuti vanochema Faith. That is the sort of impact Faith had. She's shown us how we can be meaningful in whatever it is that we are doing. And that the impact we have beyond the likes on social media can be meaningful in the people we see every single day. That was Faith. Ndoda kuti mundibetsere kutenda mama nadedi nemarerera makaita Faith kuti makara haana kumubata. Ike zvino tiri kuchema asi tiri kufara because Faith lives in us. Isu taitamba naFaith, takadzidziswa zvakawanda naFaith. Please just help me thank Mom and Dad. The other thing I gained from Faith was the best fruitcake in the world. That would be wrapped in foil when I would come to your house. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, friends. You were good friends. And I thank you also for teaching Managogomuno kuti kune photoshoot mureze. Kuti mesa magogomuno kuya photoshoot, eh? They are the entrepreneurs there who could do your photo shooting. Can I invite the church now to come over and give us our representative?
Mazita yenyu pamusoro baba Selemani, baba Chibanda, ordinate mahari, machechi ordens epano, congregation yese epano. Chekutaura chaicho handina. Inini Faith ndakamuzira kuchikoro. This is why ndati Alfred uya. Alfred ndakamuzira kuchikoro. Na sister wake Faith. Pakati pevanhu ivava handizivi kuti ndiani ati hanzi maichitepo ngavataure. Asi zvisinei. vana vakatanga pano tiri kusunday school indaimboticha sunday school panapa ndokubva ndazoenda kueaglesville school ndokwandakasangana nevana avo. Faith anga ine confidence muclass, well behaved, anga ari mazvese. Munoziva kuti dzimwe nguva maticha kana tiri muklasi soka unoti wakomana gore rinouya dai ndikawana hangu ana 10 wanenge Faith Ruwanda, you wish, nekuti unenge utoona umwe wacho kwakomana kuti hey mwana anogona, but kuda kumuti umuti swatuka mwana ngufamba tiende, anoramba anoita madududu kudzokera shure. Not these two. Saka ndati handimusii nekuti ndiri kutaura nezvaFei, ndiri kumusimudza futi yeye haana kumbondipa problem. Zvakatangira kumba kwavo kwababa namai Ruwanda ndokwazvakabva, wakazouya zvavo panapa kuenda kusunday school nekudii. Taifamba nebhazi reEaglesville, ini ndaitozikanwa nzimai chitepo vanopenga mubhazi, ndikangokuona ndinonyarara hangu kunge ndisurumbokuona kuti uri kuburisa musoro nepawindow kana kuti wakamira paseat, but the following day tinonosangana. They never gave me problems, these two. Handina musi wandakati iwe afi tadzokera next morning kuti zuro wakongoita sei zvazodii Fei mufunge iyi ndiyo inonzi par excellence yaFaith. You can see kuti even confidence dzacho chero munzewe chero mumaziso dziri kubuda. Muri kuona kamuzorere kaari kuita mumalips ake apo, unonyatsoona kuti munhu aruziva kuti ndini, not another person. Madzimai dai Mwari watibatsira kuti zvatinouya nevana varambe vari in the faith sekutaurwa kwazvaitwa muPsalm 1. Each time vanhu vari panapa vazhinji vacho zvandataura kuti munoziva Faith nekuti aizoya panapa abva kuSouth Africa kana kuti abva kuAustralia. Zvataurwa zvezve kunzi kune vamwe vana vakaenda, kana kuti wazomboziva kuti kuna mufundisi, kana kuti wazomboziva kuti kune chinyiwe kune chechi, hawazozivi. Saka tinotenda Mwari nekuchengetedza baba namai Ruwanda. Faith, ndakafara kuva naye. Alfred, ndakafara kuva naye. Kunzwa kugutsikana. Mozati ndakambozvitaura ndofunga mumwe musi kumba kwavo ndikati panenge paitwawo chakanaka kana wanga uripo part of it unongonzwa kungosimudzirwa so mumapfudzu. Saka ndo zvazviri muzuva renhasi. Faith, she was well groomed kubvira nekudhara. Munoona mai wacho ndokwazvakabvira uzongoti maybe Faith akazoisa that pamusoro, but ndokwazvakabvira. Julie ndogara umuti iwewe Julika ndidzidzisewo kusunga dhuku. Ndatoti dai yakanga iri mari ndaitoenda kuSouth Africa kakuna Fei kuti Fei chimbondidzidzisa kusunga madhuku. Munhu uye akanga ari smart, munhu aigona muklasi, munhu anga ari well behaved, anga asinganetsi vamwe. Munoziva tumwe tuwana even turi tusikana, they are bullies men. Mucheti mwana musikana here kana kuti mukomana, because kakuita kacho kanenge kaine hubhinya mukati. But not these two. Wakafanana newabereki wavo. And ndoda kukutenda whoever brought my name up, ndoda kungokutendai kuti mazvita henyu. Ndiri kuona kuti Faith rake rambi, her light, her lamp, akaita the clever bride, akaramba riri kungobaka, nanhasi riri kungobaka. Tiri kungonzwa matestimonies ari kutaurwa kuti zvechokwadi rakabakira kwaRuwanda, rakabakira kwana sekuru kwazvimba kwatiri kunzwa, but rakatibakira isisu muno muSt. Luke's Grindel. Tinoda kutenda Mwari nechipo chavanga vakatipa vatora sekutaura kwaita baba kuti Mwari hawana time. Ini ndakagarapo ndikati alright, Faith ashaya ine 36, ini ndiri more than double her age. Ndaitei tese muno ngatibudei tichizvibvunza kuti pamakore ese aya tiri kucelebrate, what have we done, what have we achieved, how many lives have we impacted, how many people were not uyu ere uyu aiwa uyu ere uyu aiwa. Ngatinzwei kubatikana nenyaya iyoyo yekuti tine basa, saka tisiri kuenda tiri pano tinombopiwa nguva yekuti tizvigadziridze. Ngatizvigadziridzei umwe neumwe wedu. Ndoda kukutendai baba namai Ruwanda nekuchengetedza mwana wenyu muchiKristu. Ndoda kutenda Mwari nekuti ininiwo I was part of her life. I was part of his life. Mazvita henyu.
Pamsoroi Baba Suleiman, pamsoroi Baba Chigwanda, pamsoroi Ordinance Mahari, pamsoroi mhuri yekwaRwanda, pamsoroi hama neshamwari dzekwaRwanda. We as St. Lucans, we believe and commiserate with you, Mkoma and my Guru, for this sad loss. If someone were to look at from the secular world, they will say, you know, this is all vanity. But we know you are Christians. Christians who were told last night by Baba Chugwande that we should find refuge in the Lord. When I heard so many testimonies about faith from last night and today, my conclusion was a fruit doesn't fall very far from the tree. Mkoma na my Guru, you are people whom we rely on per church panapa, on a number of things. As a church council, if you want our things done meticulously with someone who crosses the T's and dots the I's, unopa Mkoma Franco, and it works. And from what I've heard, that's Taurwanesa faith, no one can doubt that. My Guru, she's one of our most active members. Panapa tikaita vanhu vakawanda paroda kudyiwa, pada kuorganizwa zvakati. Munozva pane tikachikafu panonetsaka. Vanhu vanodai, but they effortlessly manage to save the church. I thank you for that, Koma and my Guru. And as I said, we are Christians, and we will continue to believe the life that faith has lived has been scripted by God. And in that 36 years, she has been so impactful to an extent that some people who haven't met her, or who didn't have an opportunity to meet her, have also been impacted coming out of this church. And one thing that I observed, I was reading her names. You know, as parents, sometimes the names that we give to our children will end up defining them. Our daughter was called Faith. And the friends who came here, the relatives, the aunties, even the parents, confirmed that she has always been faithful to whatever relationship she had with them. Faithful to her parents, faithful to her aunties, faithful to her friends. Norah, I think for those who might have read some Hebrew history, it's a name taken from a word which means light. And she was a shining light to most of us. Most of us followed what she did. And the last name, Zandile, a Zulu one, which I think I was told it means many. We are increasing. And I'm told she had over 20,000 followers on social media. So the name that she was given. And then, of course, your surname, Ruwanda, Tawanda. That's what it is. So sometimes, let's see the names that we give our children. In any way, I grew up somewhere there in the ghetto. Takakura nimkomana in the Chanetsa. And I think you can all imagine what that guy was doing. So these names, in as much as we can take them for granted, these names will carry a meaning amongst our children. With those few words, I would like to say, us as St. Lucans, we say goodbye to you, Faith. May your dear soul rest in peace. And as Christians, we know at some point when our Lord comes, we will all be able to meet. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us. Now I'm handing over the program to the church, but after this we have lunch here. Please don't go away before you've had your lunch. Thank you.
Thank you. I think on behalf of the MC, I want to thank you for Doc for a job well done. Yeah, just a word or two from me. I think you know it's always the wish of any parent to be buried by the children, not the other way around, isn't it? Yeah, but for Francis, I think it almost happened. You almost got buried by your daughter, because where is your auntie? That one we went to give a cake the other day, going to Mtare. You remember? She's not here. Is she here? Where is she? Where is she? I want to tell you a very small story for just 1 minute. Where is she? Mami Joma. Where are you?
Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make.
Do you remember that day? Makati I'm sure kuzotora keke kumba. Chiwe mundipe ku roundabout uko. Did he tell you what happened? Takupai cake. He can't remember. We got into a very bad accident. Happened. Oh, sorry. A very bad accident. Francis was driving. I was sitting by his side. Our wives were at his house preparing breakfast. We had just come out of church. It was a Sunday. And as we were at a stop sign waiting for some cars to pass, a very bad accident happened right in front of us. And I think we closed our eyes because I think that was the end. And the vendors are the ones now who told us exactly what happened. When those cars collided in front of us, one of them flew over his car, our car. It flew, and then it fell behind us. And that other woman, actually, the leg almost got removed. So anyway, thank you for your time. We know we have been sitting for a very long time. We will put back the program to Father Rector and the team.
Thank you, Mkoma Max, Gatorene Maoko. Dr. Makore, I think people may need your number for bookings. You have demonstrated that you are talented as an MC since yesterday. Qualities that you have, you keep time. You ran the program well ahead of time. Number two, you have been quarantined 24 hours long. Naona mama kako mira, maga jekera kuti program usaende msango. Tinoda kutenda mani patasvika. I was thinking to myself, ndakagarapo, I remembered that I share birthday with Faith. 20 November is the same day that I was born. So muzo ndakataka kuposta birthday rangu pachechi ndauya panapa Francis akabati, baba, you share birthday with my daughter. So every year I celebrated my birthday. I would remember that I have a fake twin in Faith. Also Faith demonstrated in many ways. Isusu, I told you that people from Malawi, the Lemba people, and parts of Zambia and Tanzania, we are very cultural people. And in our appreciation of culture, we appreciate music and dance, we appreciate fashion, we appreciate food. Nice food has been prepared there, and because after 12, but now we are going to be out exactly at 12. We are ahead of time, so kana mchinzi wano masadaka watoita makabunda ngoma Francis wakumuzi kwatu ndewekukoma Ajuma Francis wapadedza. We are people who are proud of their food. I'm sure makaona Faith aitaura nezvechikafu pablog rake. She would give tips about good food, and that was very Lemba in a blood. We appreciate our culture in terms of dressing, in terms of food. moment, and I'll ask Baba Ruwanda to lead us with the incense as we bless the body of our daughter, and then I'll follow with holy water. Faith was a baptized member of the church. But no baptism, no baptism. Panofa munhu tinomwaya mvura, because that is the completion of the life that God would have granted us on this earth. Saka baptism, we enter into a relationship with God, and with this water that we are going to sprinkle, we are just acknowledging that faith has gone to be with her maker, the same God who received her through baptism. Saka tichaita izvozvo, takange tapedza tichazokumbira kuti sawira wedu mukuru wenyaradzo auye kuno mberi. I'm sure it will be in order if he already comes up front, so that when we are doing all these rites, he's already here, so that he opens immediately the casket for us to be able to view the board of faith.
Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make.
And so, like my brother Tamakore said, I will reiterate, there's food outside. So what I usually do is I recommend that as people come for body viewing, they will go straight out and for QH CAF, and we start to receive our food. I'm opposed to the culture then one those are not necessary. As you go out, go into the queue, get your food, and enjoy fellowshipping with others. What about to avoid unnecessary queues? I know my queue no good bad. And to those who are not coming for body viewing, you can already start going outside to receive your food after the prayers of dedication. You know, so that we don't extend my queues while we are body viewing. All right, so nama chikafu tinopa una ordinate. Minamato yakakosha ino nama ordinate. Vachimwa chikunzwa mwari.
Maziteni baba Selemani, gatina matei. Mwari baba tinokutendai. Nedzidziso iyo matipapa zuva ranhasi. Apo tandiri kuzwa nezveupenyu hwakararama nemwana wedu Fei. Taakunamata panguva ino Jehovha kuti apo taakubuda kuzodya chikafu, chikafu ichocho chinarishe mabodies edu as we reflect on the life, a life well lived by faith. Amen.
All right, so Dr. Makore, with your indulgence, we live here at 1. 1 on the dot. Living here at 1. Not Takapina motor, living at 1. So, motor yangu ma drivers epapo, vatoiunza pamberi pehisi. Tapedza kuda bot ving chiaisa mtumbi, yangu motor inenge iripo. So with or without you, we'll proceed with the burial. Thank you. Enda zvako mweya womukristo Faith Zandile Norah Ruwanda, murwendo rwako kubva pasi pano muzita raMwari Baba uyo akakusika. Amen. Muzita remwanakomana uyo akakuchengeta. Amen. Muzita ramweya mutsvene uyo akakusimbisa. Amen. Chigovero chako nhasi uno Faith Norah Zandile ngachive muJerusarema itsva, nzvimbo yako norugare zvive muZion rokudenga. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. 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 Thank you. kumbira kusawira wedu mukuru azotivhurira mutumbi wemwana. I'll just bless the flowers that are going to be used also at the cemetery as I ask the choir to lead us in songs as people are being directed by the site person from the back to come for body viewing. Thank you. So we use two exits, left and right, so feel free to use any exit that you choose. One thing that we need to avoid, I know tashikira service iri pakati, so we may want to see Baba Ruwanda na Mai Ruwanda na Alfred Nemurora, but that's not the time. Kana tapedza tichabuda panze, you have time to chat with them and to pay your condolences. So tirege kuzouya pano tichivamhoresa during this time of body viewing. Thank you.
Amu,
Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world, knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make. Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make.